Would you like to go next?
It's the first time I ever made the connection between Sil and Dee, is right in this very moment, going into a world unknown, not knowing what to expect. And obviously there's layers to all of that. In one, I'm an alien, and this one, you find out later on what the layers are. But it's really exciting. You never know. I mean, this was an independent, small budget film. I was so thrilled to be there and do it. You know, I'm trending again. What can I say?
Legendary actress Natasha Henstridge joins us today for an epic conversation to chat everything House of Abraham, her iconic role in Species. Super excited, guys. Let's do it. Miss Natasha, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Super congrats on all your amazing work, talent, and success. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. You know what? All things considered, just at a yoga class. My son is visiting, and it's a good day.
That's awesome. Well, it's an absolute honor. Congrats to you, congrats to your son, and happy belated Mother's Day. So everyone's talking about this movie, House of Abraham. I know that you guys completed the film a couple years ago, but I feel like it's getting a bit of a resurgence. It's everywhere. I recently discovered it. I loved it. And I mean, it's exciting, right?
Yeah, it is. It's really exciting. You never know. I mean, this was an independent, small budget film. I read the script. Lucas Hassell is a dear friend of mine. We've worked together a couple of times in the past. And I got in the bathtub, which is where I do a lot of my work. I read a lot in the bathtub. I got in the tub and opened the script and could not stop reading it. I was just with bated breath waiting to see what the hell is going on here. This is so strange. So it was, yeah, it was one of those projects that I knew I loved Lucas. I knew what a great writer he was, and I knew what a great actor he was. And the fact that he wrote this character for himself and not really knowing where the film was going is what kept me hanging on. So I called him back right after and I said, yep, cool, let's do it. Let's go. Let's do it. So it was that simple for me.
It's amazing. And after watching it for the first time, I knew I had to reach out to director Lisa Belcher, and I wanted to know everything about this movie. So I've spoken to her. I've spoken to pretty much the entire cast. Their episodes will be coming out shortly after yours. And I mean, right off the bat, my favorite scene, I've told everyone, is the dinner scene. After everyone arrives at the house, you know, we're introduced to this new character, Abraham, played by Lukas. And I mean, he just gives this epic speech and pretty much lays out, you know, what this movie's about, which is something that I had never seen before. And I mean, it was just epic. Do you remember that day? What was it like, you know, just coming together with everyone and doing that scene?
What's beautiful about what he wrote is he knew how to set the tension. He knew how to set a mood immediately. And, you know, you're getting introduced to these characters and you're kind of we all know why we're there, what we're doing there, but the reasoning for different people and the uncomfortability and the tension that he can build in these kinds of scenes. And obviously, I mean, he had all the dialogue in those scenes, so we got to just sit back and watch. Best scenes ever.
All of you rocked it out. I mean, great performances all around. And this movie really took me by surprise because going into it, I was a fan of you. I was a fan of Lynn Shaye. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I mean, to me, those times, those movies, I mean, just absolutely magical. And acting is my passion. I do my little indies on the side. So, I mean, watching all of you, I mean, you're my education, you're my inspiration. And so to see you two together, you and Lynn in this movie, I was already excited. But then I'm introduced to all these new characters and, of course, Lucas. And I mean, it was just, it really was inspiring. And when the character of Dee is introduced and you know, you get out of the car, we see you on screen. I mean, I was really taken. It was really an epic moment. I immediately thought back to Species, you know, when Sil gets off the train and she sees the outside world for the first time. You know, as an actress, you know, Natasha, I mean, what does that even feel like? I mean, what is your energy like, you know, walking onto a set then versus now? I mean, has it changed? Are you the same? Are you a completely different person?
First of all, I want to say how astute it is for you because it's the first time I ever made the connection between Sil and Dee, is right in this very moment. And there are similarities there, going into a world unknown, not knowing what to expect, not being, you know, so there are real connections there that I have never put together before. But now, like, you're right, coming out of the car, walking into the house, being in a new environment, not knowing what to expect. And obviously there's layers to all of that. In one, I'm an alien, and this one, you find out later on what the layers are. But But yeah, interesting connection. Well done, Chris.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
I will say, doing Species, I showed up in a room with a bunch of incredibly seasoned actors. I'd never acted before other than in TV commercials, and it was the dream of all dreams. And to be in a film, whether it was going to be multiple films, one film in my life, I was so thrilled to be there and do it. There are just some jobs that you absolutely find the joy in either the people that you're working with or the material that you're working with, or you feel in flow, you feel excited, you feel like something connects you to the material. And then there are jobs that every single day, every scene is like pulling teeth. It doesn't come naturally, or you don't like the people you're working with, or that's typically not the case. There's only been a couple of jobs in my career where I haven't liked the people, but it happens, right? So every job is different, and that's the really cool thing about what I do. You're in a different environment, you're working with different people, you are in different countries half the time, on different sets, big sets, small sets, really one camera sets, multi-camera sets, you know what I mean? So it keeps it fresh, it keeps it new, everything's a new experience all the time. So in that way, I love the job. I don't know if I could have a regular job anymore. I just don't think, I think it would be really, really weird for me.
Up until now, would you say that you're living the Natasha dream, or is it still a work in progress?
There's been a lot of ebbs and flows in my career. There's been a lot of ebbs and flows in my lifestyle. I was once way in demand, when I was younger and after Species and a few other films, and my life was so busy. I had so much homes and things and properties and toys and all of the things. I've lived the dream in many different ways. So in those ways, I had everything that money could buy in a lot of regards, but I didn't have time and I didn't have peace. And I was raising kids and acting, and it was quite chaotic. It was busy, and I loved what I was doing. I was so grateful to be making great money doing, so I sound like, spoiled brat, but still, when you're working 16-hour days and you're nursing a kid at night and you're flying away on the weekends and coming back and taking care of babies, and it was so chaotic that I didn't get to enjoy a lot of it in some ways. Later on in my career, I have a lot more time. I do get to enjoy life a lot more, but maybe don't have quite the resources that I had in those days, so it's interesting, am I living the dream? Every day is a dream. Everything is within, what I've learned in my old age, in my 51 years, is that happiness comes from inside. It really is an inside job. And that's the thing. There's no amount of money or roles or things in life that can truly be the cure-all to happiness. And that's one thing that I've learned. And that's been the biggest lesson for me in life. It's letting go, not being jealous, not coveting this and needing that, and not knowing what's coming your way, but just knowing that whatever it is, you just deal with it from in here. And so, yeah, I'm living the dream every day.
Well, I think you've had an epic journey so far, and it really is a dream come true to have you here. So thank you again. I really appreciate it. And, my introduction to you wasn't in Species. I didn't see Species until later on. The first time I saw you was in Maximum Risk with Van Damme. I'm a huge action Van Damme fan. I know his movies very well. The first time I saw you on screen, you kind of come into the light. And that was a moment for me. It was the first time I had ever seen someone kind of equal to Jean-Claude as far as having that star, presence on camera. I mean, obviously you're very beautiful, respectfully. And I mean, but I didn't see you that way. I didn't see you as the pretty girl or another love interest. I really saw you as, I felt like, again, you had that presence. I saw you as an actress, and I was fascinated, and I was an instant fan. I did see Species, after that. And I mean, my next question, when it comes to the whole pretty girl thing, respectfully, I mean, do you feel like the pretty girl, or were you the pretty girl? Because I mean, from Species, whether you're in alien makeup or you're running around with Jean-Claude, or you're in the sewers and in Adrenaline, which was the movie that I saw next. I mean, are you the pretty girl, or were these the roles that you wanted at the time?
The truth of the matter is, I was a total tomboy growing up, but really, got into the modeling industry. I never ever thought of being a model. My mom sent pictures away. I grew into myself much later. I was not a cute kid, but I guess I had bone structure, I had height, and I was thin. So there were some there were some qualities in there that the industry kind of liked, but I never ever thought of myself in that way. I was not the popular kid. I was not, the pretty girl. I was much more developed as like a tomboy and playing volleyball and doing gymnastics and playing sports. My dad wanted a boy really bad. He got a girl, so I was out there with a hammer and nails, and I was such a tomboy that I feel really lucky to have had that experience to be able to get down and dirty and gritty, and I'm not prissy and don't care about breaking a nail and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's really, really helped me in my career in many ways, because it's not everyone that can sell that. So a lot of people are willing to do it, but there's not a lot of people that can sell that they're strong or that they can do martial arts or things. And I did a lot of action stuff. I actually just did something action in the UK, which I was doing fight scenes again. I'm like, wow, really? I'm here at like this age doing fight scenes, which is comical. But I have some experience in that area, so it's kind of cool. I'm really grateful because I could have been really a one note, one trick pony in many ways, like the new pretty young girl in the mini skirts that could never have gotten out of that pigeonhole. And lucky for me, because of my background of being a little tomboy, it helped.
That's what makes you so unique. I mean, without knowing anything about you other than what I saw on camera, I felt that you always had this strength and confidence. That's what shined, on camera. And I felt it, I saw it. And, even when speaking with recently with Lisa and some of the other cast members, Lisa specifically mentioned the strength. Lukas, I mean, everyone has similar things to say about you. And I mean, and they're right.
That's really touching to hear, actually. I love being associated with that because I've had such weak moments like everybody in life, right? Challenges and things that you've gone through. And, my mom was really shy, and I would go and talk to anyone from a very young age. So I had a fearlessness and a confidence. I didn't think of it as confidence. I just thought of it as a fearlessness, or yeah, I guess a self-confidence from a young age in a lot of regards. That doesn't make me escape insecurities or all of those things, but because I've dealt with all of that big time. Sometimes you'll see me getting ready for an audition or something, and I'll have a complete meltdown, and I'm not ready, and I'm not prepared, and I'm nervous, or I'm going into a room and doing like a massive screen test, and I'm freaking out. So, no, it's not always confident, but I would say my general resting state is probably pretty good in that regard. And I feel really grateful because coming from the fashion industry and having been through so many things where there's so much emphasis put on your looks, and I've gained weight, I've lost weight, I've been talked about, she's fat now, she used to be this, she used to be whatever, all of that stuff. And it's not fun to hear, but at the end of the day, if I put all of my energy into what other people say about me, you would just live through other people's eyes and their stories all the time. And I just go, no, forget that. Like, that's not me. I have, my own, who I am, how I live, what I am. I know who I am, and that's the most important thing.
You're very honest. It seems like you're really true to who you are, and whether things are good or bad, you stay Natasha, and that strength is definitely there as well. And it's that strength that either helps you out of that situation or helps you advance to better situations. And so, I mean, that's awesome. And that kind of relates to the whole Sil character a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like, when you take the alien out of it, take the horror out of it. I mean, Sil, I feel like she's a reminder of the innocence, of the discovery. I mean, we all have a vision of how we want life to be, and when everything's new. But then when we're challenged, or when things kick in, instinct kicks in, or we make choices, some good, some bad, and that's where things start to shift. And I really feel that, like in Species 2, when Eve she's trying to help find this guy, right? And she's doing everything she can. She wants to do the right thing, but at the same time, she's fighting herself. She's fighting these urges. She's fighting, the person that she's supposed to be. And whether she wants to be that person or not, I feel like it's something that, again, take the alien out of it. I feel like it's something that we can all relate to. When you look back at Sil, that character, I mean, she's an icon. You're an icon. I mean, you know that, right? What comes to mind?
So lovely of you to say that, an icon. I mean, that movie had an impact, and what's really cool is to meet people these days that are much younger than I am that are like, love that movie. And it happens all the time, that they go back, and the 90s are quite hot again. So there's definitely a trend towards 90s cool again. So, I'm trending again. What can I say? For me, I was like, I'm going to do a movie having zero idea what it would turn into and how it would impact my entire life from 1994 on. It had a massive impact on my life. And overnight, I became sort of famous. And that was really trippy and weird. And I was not used to that. It was a weird thing. And I kind of wasn't ready for that on some level in terms of I was thrown out there to every studio head and everybody wanted to do something with me, and I was really unprepared. But I'm super grateful for it. It changed my life. And so I mean I'm sitting here with a Species Giger's poster behind me right now, which by the way was in my garage for years, and I finally put it up last year. I was like, why am I not putting up this unbelievable, cool, there's only three of them in the world, Giger posters, that he signed. So yeah, no, I think as we get older, it's like embarrassing for some years, and then we get older and we go, wait a second, changed my life. I'm super grateful for it. So
Yes, and for its time, I mean, I remember everyone was talking about how crazy it was, how the violence and the nudity, but that's what made it unique. That's what made it stand out. That's what made it Natasha strong. And so, I mean, again, I love these movies. I love the franchise. At the end of the first one, Natasha, when Sil has the darker hair, I love all movies, but I'm also a huge superhero fan. I'm a huge Linda Carter Wonder Woman fan, and I always felt when I saw you with the darker hair, I thought you would have made an amazing Wonder Woman. I think you have the frame. I think you have the presence. And I mean, I just think, yeah, I think you would have been wonderful.
my mom looks a little like Linda Carter, and everybody used to say that she was like Wonder Woman. So it's very interesting. That's funny that you say that with the darker hair, because my mom used to have her hair much darker, when she was younger and stuff. So interesting. Yeah, that's very funny.
That's amazing. Well, congrats again. Congrats to your mom. That's so awesome. That's wonderful. Do you have a favorite scene in Species? One, two, or three?
There's a bunch of different scenes that I think were kind of iconic. Obviously, looking back now, drowning, the guy in the hot tub and all that kind of stuff. But there's a couple scenes that come to mind. It's when I'm first walking down the street in Hollywood Boulevard in the wedding dress. And I'm looking around and like, in the white dress, and I'm brand new to Hollywood. I'm brand new to this world. And I was brand new to Hollywood, and I was brand new to this world. They coincided so much, the character and myself. So I think that's pretty cool. I also think it was a scene that we shot a million times, but I was walking through the nightclub because, Sil's on the hunt for mating season. I think mating season has begun was the tagline, right? And I was walking through a nightclub and we shot that scene. Roger Donaldson shot that so many times. There were a lot of moving parts and a lot of people in the scene, a lot of extras, a lot going on. I was like, wow, this is how movies are. We do 45 takes of something. Okay, I guess that's how it is. I don't know. I've never done 45 takes of a thing again, ever again. But I think walking through the club and noticing and seeing everything that's going on and pulling off my vest, my shirt, but and I mean, it's kind of a ballsy, big moment in a film. And, to your point about the nudity and the violence thing, it's so interesting. I spent a year traveling around the world promoting that film, and everybody was obsessed with the nudity, which to me wasn't that big of a deal. But I don't know why I was shocked that it was a big deal for everybody else, including my family. And everybody else in the world made it such a huge thing, and it was the topic of conversation. And it's so funny now, you look around and what people are doing on TV, it's almost like nobody doesn't do nudity. Men and women basically. If you're going to be in any of the streaming shows, you're pretty much signing on for nudity immediately. Like, it is so common now. And nobody makes it about that all the time. But at the time that I did it, it was the talk of the town. So it's interesting how times change, it's funny.
Wow, that is so amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate it. And congrats. I mean, it just, wow, it's just, that must have been amazing. And again, to see you, we come back to House of Abraham, to see you on screen again, you get out of the car. It really just elevated everything. It was such an amazing feeling to see you, doing what you do. And again, I think you're amazing. And so, I mean, House of Abraham, director Lisa Belcher. This was my introduction to her. What was it like working with Lisa on this project?
I really respected her ability to collaborate, to make everyone feel comfortable, totally organized, very on top of things, really good at trusting the people that she hired to do their jobs, very good at that until she felt like she had to fight for something. And when she had to fight for something, she would, but otherwise, no ego, collaborative, wanted to take other people's suggestions and ideas. And I just absolutely loved working with her. I would do it again in a heartbeat. Really enjoyed it.
She really is amazing. And this is her first feature film. And wow, I can't even imagine the stress or the pressure, just first film and working with legends like yourself and Lynn and having to direct y'all. And oh my, I mean, I feel the pressure right now just talking to you and, hoping I don't screw it up.
You're not. You're killing it, Chris. You're killing it.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, we got to talk about the pool scene. Everyone's brought it up. I mean, it's insane. It's powerful. Whether, it was, when you were on set that day or when you saw the film for the first time, what was your reaction?
Reading it, terrifying. Watching it, I'm gasping for air still. I've seen the film like 2 or 3 times now. It's a very claustrophobic feeling, a super overwhelming feeling, and the underlying current of what he's doing and somebody changing their mind, all of that aspect is just it's pretty overwhelming. And then also with the scene with the bags over the head, just the concepts are so dark. The way that he wrote it and also the way that we shot it, it's just dark. And it's in full midday. But you don't need shadows, you don't need blood, you don't need anything. It's the psychological part of these kinds of films that get me on board. That's the kind of stuff that I actually do love, is anything that's going to be twisted psychologically. That's the stuff that I love. And this film has that in spades. So yeah. I mean, I've said this before and I've said it to Lucas. Lucas and I actually shared a house when we were filming. It just turned out that way eventually. And we would drive home sometimes after work, and I'm like, God, am I safe in the car with you? You freak me out so much in some of these scenes. And meanwhile, we're at laughing and carrying on like in normal life. He was just so committed. He's so good. He's so good at being creepy. And he's so not that way, He's just freaking great at it though. But I'm like, God, the shit that you write, Lucas, you're like the darkness. Where the hell is this shit coming from? Am I safe with you?
That's just so awesome. And of course, we have the legendary Lynn Shaye. And whether I'm watching her on screen or when I got to talk to her, I mean, she's so adorable. She's so active and so full of energy. Am I right?
Lynn is, to me, such an inspiration. I think she is just such a genius human being. Exactly what you just said. Her energy level is through the roof. I mean, I've asked her, how do you do it? But she's still so passionate about what she does. I mean, she just put up a friggin' one-woman show in LA and New York. You know what I mean? Like, I asked her on set one day, I go, Lynn, where does this come from? Where does this passion of yours come from? And she went, you have to love yourself. You have to love yourself. Love yourself before it. That's the most important thing. And I just thought that was so beautiful. And she was kissing herself when she was telling me the story. And every day that I'm in yoga, I kiss my knees. We go into like a thing at the very end of class and I kiss my knees. And that's a thing that yoga teachers do. They're talking, love your body for taking you here. Love your body for, giving you the ability to do stuff. And I think Lynn is just a very wise, passionate, interesting, curious woman. And she's not lost that. She's excited. And I don't know where it all comes from, but she's an extraordinary woman.
She's so inspiring. She's a superhero. I do have one last question for you, Natasha. If you could go back, throughout your career, everything that you've done, everything that you've experienced, if you could go back and give young Natasha some advice, or anyone looking to come into the industry, anyone with a dream, what advice would you give them?
Advice for young Natasha is save your money. That would be a big one because I could have retired about 25 years ago, but that's another story. That's a story for another time. Save your money, guys. It's such a different world right now. So I would have said, don't be so afraid to work with people that are so much better than you because all you're going to do is learn. I had this thing where I became an overnight sensation in Species, and I was so afraid that I wasn't prepared to work with amazing people because I was so new and green and I didn't really know what I was doing. But actually, if you work with amazing people, they just make you look better. You're cutting back and forth in scenes, they make you look better. You're doing better projects. And instead, for me, I was really afraid and I started doing not as great projects. And I think that's where something that I would have shifted. Nowadays, I mean, it's kind of a really cool time. It's very different than the studio days, than the days that I was coming up in. But nowadays, you can make and create your own content, and you can be, you can learn so, like you're doing right now, right? People are creating their own content, whether it's TikTok videos or this or that or whatever. They're making their own YouTube channels and stations. That's pretty freaking cool. Like you don't have to bow to the studios or bow to these producers. You can make your own stuff, and I mean, it's a different world. It's a world I don't even understand, but I think it's pretty freaking cool that if you have something to say, you can say it. You don't have to be hired by these huge conglomerates. You can make your own stuff, which is pretty awesome. So make your own stuff.
Yes, that's so epic. Miss Natasha, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Super congrats on all your incredible work, talent, and success.
I appreciate it, Chris. You've made it an absolute joy, and you definitely got me thinking about things in a different way. And so well done, because it's not easy to do when in this situation. It's not easy to get someone to think outside of we get into these questions and we answer by rote, and you do these things a million times. And so bravo to you, for making it interesting and making it good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It means a lot. And thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Again, it's been a dream come true, and I'm just so grateful to you and to Lisa, to the entire Abraham team. So thank you. I really appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Definitely watch House of Abraham. It's streaming everywhere. Or you can go to moviezing.com right now and get the Blu-ray or DVD. And on the Blu-ray, guys, it's filled with all kinds of bonus features, deleted scenes, behind the scenes, bloopers. There's an epic music video on there. I highly recommend getting the Blu-ray. And if you use promo code CP-Abraham26, you'll get $5 off. And you'll also get a very secret, very special invite to an exclusive Zoom with members of the cast and director. Guys, it's gonna be epic. So go online right now, moviezing.com, get your Blu-ray. Congrats again to the entire Abraham team, and a very special shout out to director Lisa Belcher. Thank you so much for sending me this Blu-ray copy. I really appreciate it. It's signed by Lisa, Natasha, Lynn, and Lukas. I am just honored. My heart goes out to you all. Thank you for all that you do. All of you inspire me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for believing. And we'll see you soon. Cheers.